Okay, I'm trying to get a fix on everything again. There are so many competing tasks that when you come back to this game after like 2 weeks, you're like, oh god, oh god. Because I have been pretty busy the last few weeks and not recording much, and now I am back, and now I'm like, oh my goodness, these tasks. Alright, so spores and mushrooms are some of these goals for me. They're just off, and that I think I'm spending dice on. There's something I'll get eventually when I probably go further up the wing. We're still looking for agents over here. There's a lot of like G-roll and spores and caps going on. We're still waiting for Rabaya to come back. We're trying to deal with the killer situation. Danger. I am curious about the outcome if you specifically don't kill but catch the killer. Even though it's way harder. So for that I needed to put a point into this, right? I need to take it up to +1, which means I need another skill point before I continue with that. I don't think it's a real time limit. I mean, at this point the game is mostly backed off of most of its time limits and had them not be entirely legitimate anyway. But, this one in particular, it feels like this just saying, like, they're trapped in there and eventually will be destroyed, but, like, very eventually. Let's see. So we're still trying to get this. We're still trying to unlock the locations in this area. Before I do that, I think I want to go back here. Tea house I think doesn't have an overall task. I'm mainly trying to deal with this. So I'm trying to find Fang's target still. 100% positive. 25% negative. Outcomes are cryo, but negative could be bad. Still think I'll try it? Or that can happen. Shit, did I just lose health? Oh shit. I don't have money. Okay. Getting back into the flow of things. This game really benefits from being played in one continuous flow, which is rough because it's not long. It's not short enough to be beaten that quickly. But like you definitely feel like you have everything that's going on kind of like collectively rolling. Oh shit, I got mixed up again. You feel like you're understanding and your goals are and your multitasking is all like collecting in one place. So when it goes bad, you're getting in trouble. There we go. That actually gave me a bit of energy. There we go. That undoes my food problem a little bit, but I think I lost health when I fucked up and took the risk, which I should not have done that. That's my bad. Sleeper. You see Fang coming up the corridor as you step out of Minji's. The kelp noodle smell is still clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously. I don't have long. Take these. Fang palms you a couple of these metal thumbnail-sized drives, ripperworms. My sled has been buzzing like crazy. Seems your delivery shift's been turned up our 2 targets. He squeezes your shoulder. I knew you could do it. Now we nail those snakes. What do we do? Hardin's boys are all connected by some kind of closed network. You break the access protocols on both of them, you should be able to gain the location of the nearest network ports. Slot the Ripperworms in those ports, one each, and they'll feed me anything and everything stored in Harden's shadow network. He smiles. Can't wait to see what juicy plans they have in there. You hear the scuff of boots as a group comes up the corridor, likely on their way to place an order with Minji. You turn for a sec, and when you look back, Feng is already halfway down the corridor in the opposite direction. He raises a hand in farewell and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny Ripperworm drives in your pocket, and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jenna will be at Feng for this little excursion. Time to slot some worms. Time to slot some worms. Where is this one, though? That's the other thing. Harden, not Yannick. Two different people we're trying to get past now. Hack Harden's agents. I am allowed to just hack now. Get exactly a 5. 6. So they're costly hacks. All I have right now is this Wii. Weightless Wanderer. Not the best outcome, but I'll take it. My energy went up from earlier, so I don't have to worry about that so much right now. So I guess we just go on to tomorrow now. My unit. Feed the stray. Now I'm hungry again. And I have terrible rolls. I needed a 5 or a 6 for that other thing? Rubia's back, though. Even before you enter the office, you hear the sound of Rubia working the heavy bag. She is hammering it, the chain creaking as it shakes with each hit. She's been like this since. Sabine doesn't finish the sentence. They are sitting on a stool looking at the terminal in the corner, searching through the SNARP data you pulled all those cycles ago. Is she okay? Just angry. We all are. But you have to remember, she knew Yannick for a long time. Sabine glances nervously at Rabia. What SNARP did. Rabia stops punching, and in the silence you can hear her breathing hard. Sabine looks over at her, and you sense something between them. You realize you haven't seen them together since they tried to kill each other in the same unit. A lot has changed since then. They hooked him up like a puppet. Rabia hits the bag. Rigged that thing in his head so that they could control him. Pushed the old Yannick out. I don't know why he let them in. Rabia throws a few more punches. But it's a lesson. Don't let them in. Another flurry. Yadagan shouldn't deal with corporations, and we never will again. She spits. She comes away from the bag. At least Yannick's death has been treated as natural. There's a chance we come back from this, that Yadagan can hold on, but there are opportunists trying to take control. Sabine turns to you. Yes, but now the connection has been broken. I've been looking at removing the trackers from the implants and Yadagan's enforcers. It's a significant job, but I think, with time, I can do the surgeries. Rubio looks away from the bag towards the far side of the unit. Those surgeries will never happen if Yadagan collapses, she shouts back at Sabine. Clearly this is a well-worn argument in this unit. Will Yadagan really collapse? I don't think so, no. Rubio doesn't either. They look over at her. At least, not when she's calm. What I understand now is that Yadagun came to be something... can be something if we want it to be. Coming here, from Essen Arp, from the coral worlds, all I saw was a gang. And with Yannick keeping me on a tight leash, they shudder. Rabia believes, and I want to that belief. They look unsure. I also want to be done with Essen Arp, but I doubt they are done with me. They glance away, rubbing their shoulders. Are you and Rabia? Zabine fixes you with a look. Yes, Sleeper. Isn't that obvious? They smile. I've been wanting to say, Zabine begins, nervously. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you where I came from. I know I've apologized before, but I want to again. They pause. Properly. When I leaked the data on the Sleeper program, it was to try to help people, like you. They grit their teeth. But after all the cycles here, being pushed down, pushed around, trying to survive, all that got away from me. So when you turned up, they sigh, it shook me up. They run a hand through their hair. But I ended up here, so they look at Rabia. Of course. Oh, of course. They reach into a pocket and take out a handful of vials. These are the last of the case. You can have them. They drop them into your hands. After these last few, I don't know what we can do. Even the Essen Arp, with the Essen Arp connection broken, they look down. But I know there are other ways. Repairs, other pharmaceuticals. I even heard there are some labs out on the Greenway. Perhaps they can help. They meet your eye. I'm sorry I can't do more. Thank you for everything. They look away, their eyes bright with tears. Rabia crosses back to you and sits beside Zabine. They look at each other, and you can't help but smile at the idea of them together. What are you two plotting? Rabia grins. Zabine laughs, and the sound is a welcome one. You watch the two of them teasing each other and smile. Later, when you leave, you take that handful of vials out of your pocket and look at them. You can still feel that core of anger deep down inside, and you don't know if it will ever leave. But Essen Arp doesn't own you anymore. They can't. Because this place, these people, own you. They're what makes you get up every cycle. They're what keeps you breathing. You put the vials away and walk through the low end, your senses tuned to every sight, every smell and every sound, soaking it all in, living. 3 stabilizers. Shit, man. That is a lot of stabilizers. And now we also got our transfer intercept plus, so we got +1 to interface, and now we have +1 to everything. And we have the skills of some of the other stuff, but I might want to get the +2s instead of some of these next. That's what I was planning on saving up to next, but then I needed that skill in order to do the hacking I need to do for the other quest. It is hard locked unless you want to just kill the thing, which might be the best idea for all I know, but I want to know what I can do and so on. So I can't buy anymore, can I? But I have 3, which is a hell of a long time. Like, how many have I used? Like 3? Like, I do feel like the game undercommits a bit to its what I can basically call its like survival mechanics, I guess. Like it's a survival horror game. Just because it's the idea that you're really struggling to survive is kind of strained by the fact that the game isn't that hard to begin with, and it gets easier every time you accomplish basically anything. And large amounts of the a lot of the stuff you do in this game to further the story has 0 personal benefit while you're furthering the story. So you're just like hanging out and helping with this thing, which could make more of a statement if the fact that you were doing that thing was coming at a great personal cost, because you really need that time to make money to get your stabilizers. But in many cases that's not the case. You're just fine, actually, and you can basically like take these like week-long vacations from doing anything productive. So that stuff's a little goofy, and that it muddles the what I think is the point of the game a bit. But that's the CH. You guys are a 5 and a 6, right? I think those are the only ones around. But I think I have access to this now, but maybe not the way I want it to. Where is it? So how good is this? Okay. No negative outcome is good. Positive outcome would be... a little worried about the reduced condition. Let's see, does it happen on a neutral outcome? Ooh. So positive outcome is straight up a +3, which is a good chunk of progress. You bend one of the branches like a hazel twig, allowing the flow away from the mainframe and into another branch. Yeah, I'd rather not lose condition. My rolls are pretty bad right now, unfortunately, though. Let's see, I've got some money. Energy bonuses. Why not? You can get money and energy at the same time. Yeah, even negative outcomes give you energy. Seems like a reasonable spend for shitty rolls. Oh, I have the reroll mechanic! Alright, well. That happened. Beat the stray. Things to remember about game. It just takes a while to get back into the flow of everything. I shouldn't have to take this long of a break again. Two 6s. I want to hack the other thing, but I also want to finish this thing. There we go. And let's re-roll the 3. 4. That's slightly better. That's a little better, you know? It's a little better. As you blink into the cloud, you see the last flickers of life from the mainframe. This vast machine once ran the whole station, span it up, directed and processed the flow of energy, water, and data. Fed the lives of thousands of people. Now, it is finally dead. Navigator is beside you, and you both look out at the perfect ring that encircled you both, woven from data branches that once fed the mainframe. You see a glint along its edge, and that familiar blade-like head rises to the surface, like the cresting fin of a shark, and then slips into the loop again. All that you can see of Killer's body after that is a slight thickening of the loop, and that thickening begins to travel around on a long and slow sojourn that will last it forever. "I am surprised at you," says Navigator, drifting faintly around you in a lazy orbit, as if to shake off their imprisonment. "Killer had been wandering blind for so long. Did you not think to end them forever? Perhaps they can be saved. You are naive. They are a killer by nature. Look what they did to their own home." Navigator gazes into the darkness. "This place was their domain and prison, and they have followed their directives. For many decades they roamed here. They cut the threads of the mainframe, executed its administrator's AI, and then kept slicing. At some point, they cut away their own ability to see, to sense, to taste, to speak. And yet they kept cutting, until only those 3 threads remained. From millions that once thrubbed here, only their blindness, their chance, kept them from making those final 3 fatal cuts. There is a ceaseless violence in the kind of system that creates beings like this. They will execute commands endlessly, even to their own destruction. Navigator looks to you for your thoughts. I will not continue the violence. The system you float in is one built of violence, and you'd be naive to believe otherwise. Navigator turns away. You watch the data points of the station spin around you, blending with the fixed stars. There's something satisfying about finally wrenching the last threads of control from this central point. It was little more than a ghost by the time you reached it, but this place deserves to be haunted by better ideas than a totalizing system of control. Navigator floats beside you. It is free now. The station no longer presents a hazard for illegal entities like me. They turn to you, their face a cloud of shimmering light. In fact, in time, perhaps it can be a refuge. A refuge. That sounds like something of value, something worth building. A dark shape passes across your vision, a distant curve of something like smoke or oil, a fluid, shifting tank of total darkness. The Greenway, says Navigator, following your line of sight. It was cut off at the moment of the collapse, so hunter or killer could never reach it. Now it is closed off to us, separated from the cloud. What system is inside it? It may be totally dark, or perhaps some other old protocols are isolated there. Navigator turns to you, and we have now seen what decades of isolation can do to a protocol. If we can extract an access cipher. They pause, and then blink out of existence. You freeze, shocked, but a moment later they reappear with a glowing polygon of data. Here, the cipher you need. You take it, still shocked. I am not used to being free, to being able to move, and explore, and extract without fear, without limits. Navigator does a little twirl. This will take some getting used to. Thank you for this gift. They whirl their spheres around you. The entities of the station will always be friends to you, Sleeper. And I to them. It is true that mutual need is required for friendship, but I must admit I had not considered the value of offering assistance without personal gain. I will think on that. Navigator loops around you rapidly, suddenly eager to test their newfound freedom. But first I will explore. Perhaps there are still intelligences that hid themselves as I did, encased in simple systems, cut off. The Navigator glows. I should like to free them. And with that, they drift away, flickering, glowing, then shifting so rapidly you lose sight of them among the glittering rim of the edge. You feel a pang of jealousy. Free, without a body to weigh you down, or fear to limit you. How must it feel? Your eyes fall on the Greenway and its secrets, though perhaps that can wait until after you've celebrated this victory. We got a point that we literally can't spend. It's impossible now, for the first time. But one day I'll be able to spend points in the future. Also, we finished a task, which never happens, so that's fun. The Gimbal Lounge is the new place. Buy a spacer meal. The gimbal sells itself on its spinning sphere, which claims to produce therapeutic gravitational effects. It doesn't. But they sell food. Fair, I suppose. Still trying to ingratiate myself to this place. Come on, positive. Nope. Just neutral. Just slowly plugging away. This place really makes you feel how much more work it takes to get around in it. Yeah, there no longer is a downtown area, huh? Or whatever you want to call this area. The original hub is gone, the office is gone, so it's now down to just these two food places and my home. The cat tax is real. Alright, now let's do the hacking, which I conveniently have a 5 and a 6 for, actually. Go figure, huh? And I can hack without all the bad shit happening. We open these ports. That's where the Ripper worms go. This will provide Feng with the ability to rip any data he likes from Hardin's network. The worm makes a little nest among the agent's data, enjoy your stay, little friend. The worm begins tearing through the data's cache, spinning out a thread to Feng's terminal. As you walk into the tambour, you quickly spot Feng, arguing with Jenna. Keep your distance. It doesn't look good. Feng seems to be explaining something, but Jenna's having none of it. She points to the door, and Feng walks away, catching her eye as he turns. Well, could have done with you getting here a minute or so ago. He glances back at Jenna. Well, either way, it looks like I'm fired. Good news is, it doesn't look like I need the job anyway. He takes out his slate, pulsing with pale light. Now, let's get a look at what you really are here for. The slate is a whirring mess of code streams. Coming direct from the Ripper worms as they dig through the agent's data and spin into threads for the slate to pick up. Anything good? Feng scrolls the display with a finger. A lot of junk, a lot of dull as hell message threads, a lot of tedious data caches, but... Feng's eyes flash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on an entry and expands it. Check this out. Feng shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and a word below. Conway, Feng says. He's working with Conway. Conway Extractions, right? Feng nods. He's been speaking with them, personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted and redacted. He rubs his head. Damn it, this is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. He scrolls some more. Wait, what's this? A wasteland reclamation facility, right here on the eye. He glances at you. What's the bet this place is tucked into the wastes? The wastes? It's the section of the eye Erlin couldn't reclaim, was too damaged, too cut off. Back before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub. But that spoke's broken now, so the only way is the long way, round the rim, past the greenway. He shows you on his slate. Feng looks away, thinking. Conway may have been making moves on this system since the collapse. I hear they took over one of Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago. Moved everyone out and reclaimed the whole rock. Why work with Hardin? Access? Old connections? Not sure. Fang looks back at the screen. But if Hardin's involved in it, we need to check it out. Simple as that. This is a wild goose chase. Yeah, maybe it is. Fang slides the slate away. But, what else have we got to lose? Fang looks up at you. Hardin was a Solheim executive. That's not something you can just walk away from. People like that don't change. You don't make your money from exploiting the most vulnerable people in the system one day, and then flip on their side the next. I'm not about to drop this. He pinged these guys the moment he was found out, and they started prattling on about this Conway facility. The way I see it, Fang stares out in the middle distance, we have to get to that facility. The answer to whatever Hardin's been prepping and been planning has to be there. And we are going to catch him in the act. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, then I'll see you on the Greenway. I seem to remember there's some old service docks in the outer shell. Up by the Haifa building. Should be a good place to meet. Fang squeezes your shoulder. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with this. I haven't forgotten about that tracker of yours either. I'm gonna need to be back in my bay to pull a solution together. He turns the slate around to face you, showing a massive scrolling code. I've been working on a fix in my brakes, he winks. Fang grins. See you soon, Sleeper. And he walks out the door to the tambour without looking back. New point, new drive. Probably gonna save that. That was at least a milestone. Let's see, spores, caps, mushrooms. 3 in a row that are go find that thing. Yeah, Ankata's up by the waist, I think, is where she went. Greenway. Meet Fang in the Greenway. Fang is just absolutely not disabling our tracker. He's taking as long as physically possible. So I'm pretty much ready for the Greenway, except I think there's still more to learn about the hub first. And I'm trying to find everything. Fuck. Well, that wasn't helpful. I'm gonna look into the hub and any story that might be there, and then I'm gonna go into the Greenway, and given that it's the Greenway, it's probably gonna unlock stuff about every single narrative element that's hidden behind some kind of mushroom or something. Maybe an iffy approach to the whole thing, but it's just like I'm trying to keep the number of simultaneous objectives manageable, because holy cow. This is... Life in the city's busy, huh? Oh no, I didn't feed the cat. I'll remember tomorrow. Or something. 6, and then trash. A lot of trash. We don't have a lot of hacking left to do. Pretty much just, yeah. Get back to this. +2. Rerolled a better 6 and 4. Jeez. Well, I'm buds with y'all now, huh? The Kisho capsules. Hexagons! It's always hexagons every time. The only place to sleep on the hub. Hacked off a colony ship and welded to the ring. Surprisingly expensive to rent. Rent a capsule. Why would I do that? That's really expensive. Do I keep that rent for the rest of the game? Is it that kind of span of renting, or is it a one night of sleep? As you'd expect, a capsule tends to be like just a sleeping situation. A sleep capsule. Distressing. I guess these people don't have access to the lift, so they're stuck here? I don't know, with how expensive it is, I suspect that it might, like, cause something to happen. Or at least I would hope. I would hope that it causes some kind of narrative element or something to happen. Bliss, ship mechanic from the hub. No way, Moritz. You take those substandard filters back to those shitheels who sold you them. You hear the voice echoing out from the bay as you pass. And moments later, someone who you assume is Moritz drifts out with it, dragging a pallet of filter cartridges by a tether. Hey, you there, the same voice echoes out of the entrance. Looking for work? Yes? I need a hand, get in here. The voice is coming from someone shorter than you expected. She's floating in the microgravity of the docking bay beside a half-deconstructed life support unit that looks like it might have exploded at some point. She points a wrench in your direction. You know anything about these things? She doesn't wait for an answer. Scratch that, just help me with the casing. Help her? Alright then. She deftly moves around the unit, making space for you beside the central seam in the dented case. Just take a grip here, and lift out and up. Now I can get in and unbolt it. She whacks the unit with a wrench. Whole thing is twisted to shit. You dig your fingers under the casing and lift it away, the metal squealing from the force. She puts her hands under, spinning the wrench to slip out the bolts, catching them in on her other hand while they spiral free. All good. The casing lifts off, revealing the ornate piping of the unit's interior. She whistles at the mess of ducts and filters. By the way, everyone calls me Bliss. She pats you on the shoulder, offering little in the way of explanation. Is this your bay? It is for now, yeah, whether I like it or not. She looks at you like that should mean something. Bliss starts pushing and pulling at the ductwork, looking for fractured pipes. We haggle for contracts, but the good ones get snapped up quick by the bigger bays, so here I am trying to get this M2 unit running again for one of the freelance tugs. Small-time stuff. Hold this. She rips out a ribbed pipe and hands it to you like a freshly caught fish. We turn stuff around fast and neat, and maybe we can get a chance at landing something bigger. Something starts hissing in the unit, and Bliss quietens it with a precise whack. But to be honest with you, the way things are going, I can already see the other crews licking their lips, ready to take this place over. She looks up at you. I'm almost out of luck. What happened? Long story. Some people just can't keep promises. She keeps working, twisting aside pipes with care. There we are. Bliss pulls her hand from deep inside the unit and out it comes, clutching a lumpen cube scorched black. This thing must have overloaded and popped half of itself out the side. You both duck down to the side of the unit and spot the exit wound, its edges fringed with more scorch marks. Grab me a replacement converter from the racks, will you? Head to the rack. You kick off from the unit and drift over to the wall racks, where a catalog of parts sits secured in clamps. Colored tape and scrawled notes flutter across the wall, a complex organizational system of Bliss's own design. Or just a big mess. You try to pick out the right part. Replacement converter, so M2 M2 or F4? Is this a test? M2. Haha, I have the ability to scroll up and chat. M2 converter. You grab the part and push back to the unit. Bliss holds out an arm and you pass over it, the converter spinning gently as it leaves your hand. Perfect! You passed. She straightens up from the unit. That is, if you want to work here. Bliss rubs her hand clean, looking down at her palms. Truth is, I need a hand here. My partner skipped out on me and left me with a whole mess. You seem like you might at least be better at spotting a clean air filter than Moritz. I'd be happy to. Wait. She frowns at the wrecks. That's not all of it. My old business partner. They rinsed the place, emptied the accounts. To bid for jobs, we need to put down deposits, bring in parts, pay tug fees. For that... She looks nervous. Embarrassed. We need chits. You want me to pay to work? Come on, it's not like that. We'd be partners. Straight split. Bliss settles herself against the unit and looks off into the distance. I guess I look pretty stupid. Here I am asking any random passerby to be my business partner. No offense. She smiles. She manages a smile. I get it. Thanks. She meets your eye. I appreciate it. Bliss goes back to working on the unit. Look, it's no pressure. You find the money, or you find someone who has, or you just forget the whole thing. Up to you. She gestures for you to keep, to help her refit the casing, and you both slot it back into place. I think I'm good to wrap this one up for now. But if you're into it, come back and we can bid on a new contract. Something to get our teeth into. Something that pays. She gives you a serious look. You can trust me. I don't say this stuff lightly. You kick away from the bay, propelling yourself back to the handholds at the entrance. You slip out with a wave, and as you do, someone slips back in. You hear Bliss as you glide down the passageway. Moritz, I swear to God, if those filters aren't clean... You smile. Seems like this could be interesting. New people. Where is it, Flute? Help Bliss compete. Invest in Bliss's bay. Hey, are you overflowing with cash you just want to throw in the garbage? I got a place for you. 80. Wow. This entire area became a money sink, apparently. Ah.